Hi, we're John and Bari Denney, and welcome to the Harmony Exercise, a 10-minute daily practice that we've been doing for over 26 years. And we want to talk about the basics today. We want to sort of break it down. And the Harmony Exercise is basically 7 exercises done in sequential order, starting with relaxation, and then a breathing exercise, and then the realizations of health and harmony, a practice of gratitude, the realization of abundance, and right action. Those are the 7 steps. And today I wanted to talk about each one a little bit, and then Bari was going to lead us in it.
So today we're going to talk about the first principle of the Harmony Exercise, which is relaxation. And that's relaxation of the body and of the mind. And the reason why we want to relax the body and the mind is so that we can be calm and stress-free and open to anything that ideas or open to the positive principles of health, harmony, and abundance.
And the way I understand relaxation also is we're kind of disconnecting from the physical world. So we're just quieting the body and the 5 senses. You know, we do the harmony exercise with our eyes closed, but you're just disconnecting from this material world, right? So we can do our...
Disconnect so we can connect.
Exactly. Disconnect, we can connect.
Right.
And then after relaxation, we do the 10 count breathing exercise.
So when you're doing the 10 count breathing exercise, you stand up and you inhale to the count of 10 and then exhale to the count of 10. Now this can be tricky, inhaling to the count of 10. You might get full at 7. So I like to use little tricks like taking little sips of air as I'm breathing in and counting on my fingers and pushing the air down into my belly, like into a big fat belly, and putting my hand on it. And then when I get to the 10, I swallow for the count of 4 and then exhale for the count of 10. And when you're doing that, you're pushing your belly in and pushing all that air out. And you do that 3 times and you've just completely oxygenated yourself, so that you're in essence cleansed with fresh air.
And so that oxygenates the body, and when you swallow, it oxygenates the brain. So, you know, and each one is separated by a normal breath, and we'll walk you right through that. That's pretty self-explanatory. And after the breathing, we have a realization of health, because once you've oxygenated the body and mind, and we believe we've become what you think about. So we make affirmations and realizations.
Right. So we're realizing the thought of I am perfect health.
And then if we have others we work for in health, so when I do it, I'll work for Bari and my children in health.
And I'll work for you and our kids or my friends or family members who are sick or, you know, have different illnesses, and people who are accepting for you to pray for them in health too and see them as healthy.
And then after health, we have a exercise of harmony. And the harmony tone, there's also 2 parts, one for ourselves and then harmony for our relationships. And we establish our own personal harmony by doing something called the harmony tone exercise. This is a tricky one to explain, so I'll let her do it for you.
So the harmony tone is located directly behind your solar plexus, between your shoulder blades. So at that area, that's where you go into thought and pick up the tone. So that is sometimes a sound or a light. Everyone's tone is unique. So you can just sit quietly for a moment and pick it up. And then we'll guide you into carrying it throughout all the different quadrants of your body and completely filling your whole body with the harmony tone, and that's a pretty cool thing.
I love the harmony tone exercise. I look at it like tuning your instrument, tuning your guitar. Carol explained it to me that when you take your first breath and the body animates itself, a tone starts up right in the center of your body. It's like your tuning fork. And when you go to that point, which we call the harmony center, you go to that point, you pick up a tone, and then we carry the tone using our thought. And it's very easy, but it's very, very deep. And mine, I just feel it's like just a different tingling sensation after I've done it. But I have heard people see it as a light.
Mine's a light. Mine's a light, sort of a bouncing ball light.
Allie's used to be a Pac-Man.
Oh, what you did?
So,
I didn't know that.
so then after the harmony tone,
So then you're establishing your own personal harmony, and then after you've done that, you send out thoughts of universal harmony. And this is the one that I personally use all the time, because there are situations that, you just never know what's happening in the world, but with universal harmony, you realize everything is working in concert together, all in, a divine order, and just don't worry about, all the little stumps and bumps.
and we define universal harmony as the power of love, sending the power of love out from us, from each other. We come together and think about it. We send it out to our family and friends, and just sending that power of love out. That's sort of universal harmony. That's how I think about it.
Yeah, but I think about it too, like starting very small, like, look at nature, the blades of grass, the grains of the sand. Like there's bajillions of those things. But right, they all look the same. Everything is just all like perfect, even the weeds. So, that's what we are in life too. So we should all just...
Even the weeds are perfect.
Even the weeds are perfect.
And so after universal harmony, then we have an exercise of gratitude.
Right.
And that's the fifth exercise. And so gratitude is basically our most powerful attitude. That's the way I look at it.
Yep, and you hear a lot of people say, in the different self-help and self-improvement kinds of places, it all starts with gratitude. And that's, one of the foundational principles of the harmony exercise. Every day you're grateful for a little something. It can be something small, it can be something huge, but it's always something. And I think that's a very powerful thing to use.
Practicing gratitude.
Right.
And we say, and Carol we say, gratitude is what opens the doors to greater and fuller blessings and to a greater and fuller supply, which brings us to the next principle of abundance.
Right, and with abundance, the thought is, I and my abundance are one, enough and to spare for my every need. So you have exactly what you need right now, in the moment, and be grateful for it.
And then after we establish abundance in ourselves, we work for others in abundance, like we did with health.
Right, same thing.
And then the seventh prayer is that of right action.
And that's sort of the power of God in action, the power of the universe in action. We still have to take action, but we know that, God's will is always right action. Or if you don't believe in God, some higher power. But, something that you trust that everything's going to work out exactly how it's supposed to. And kind of just move on.
And it's where we can put problems or situations that we might be freaking out and worrying too much about, put them into right action. Relationships, maybe Bari and I if we're ever going to buy a house, we'll put that address into right action.
Or I was just thinking, even like when our kid was, applying to go to University of South Carolina.
And you were freaking out?
Yeah. I was freaking out, people were freaking out, who shall be nameless. But in order to not freak out, I would just put that situation into right action. And if, and at least for that moment in time, I could be calm about it and know, okay, whatever is going to happen is going to happen. And, worked out, there she is.
And you have to have the trust that things are going to work out. There is a level of faith.
There's a level of,
that you know that you believe in this. And it comes from our past, too. We've been doing this for 27 years together. We look back and connect the dots. It's like, wait a second, look how nicely those things worked out. And a lot of times it'll come back to, we came together and thought and saw it happening.
Yeah. That'll be fun to go back down memory lane to get into those specifics.
So then after that, there's a little closing prayer where we just sort of say a closing prayer. It changes around a little bit sometimes. But those are the 7 basic steps of the harmony exercise.
Right. So, having a little brief rundown of that, today is my turn to lead. So usually we start with a thought, And my go-to thought is, with God, all things are possible. So I'm going to use that thought today. So you can find a comfortable place to sit, close your eyes, put your palms on your thighs, and take a nice deep breath. And I'm going to close my eyes to do this too, so, it won't look weird. Okay, so let us begin to do our work. So begin by relaxing the physical body. Relax the brow, the upper back of the head, the face, the lower back of the head. Relax the neck, the shoulders, the upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, hands, fingers, and thumbs. Relax the chest and the upper back, the abdomen, the lower back. Relax the hips, the thighs, the knees, the calves, the ankles, the feet, and toes. Having relaxed our physical bodies, let us relax our mentalities, which is simply this. Let us go inside where all is right with the world. We are one with the Creator in the place where the truth sets us free, the perfect love casts out all fear, and the peace passes all understanding. Having done the 10 we are now ready to do the 10 count breathing exercise after having relaxed our minds and our bodies. So let's stand up and begin the 10 count breathing exercise. Now move the camera. Begin by taking a normal breath, inhalation, exhalation. Now inhale to the count of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Swallow. And exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Normal breath. Once again, inhale to the count of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Swallow. And exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Normal breath. And one last time, inhale to the count of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Swallow. And exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Normal breath. Thank you and be seated. Having done the 10 count breathing exercise, we're at the perfect state of body and mind to realize health, which is our natural condition. So let us now make the realization that God is, I am, perfect health now. God is, I am, radiant, vital, dynamic health now. We fill ourselves with the color of orange, the color of health, and let it emanate throughout our auras this entire day. And if there are those who have asked us to work for them in health, let us now silently name them and realize for them radiant, vital, dynamic health. And now for harmony. Remembering that the harmony tone is located in between the shoulder blades, behind the solar plexus, let us go to that point in thought and pick up the tone. Carry the tone to the top of the head. Carry the tone down the left side of the head and neck, across the left shoulder, the upper arm, elbow, forearm, wrist, hand, fingers and thumb, leaving the tone in the center of the left palm. Return to the harmony center, pick up the tone, carry the tone to the top of the head. Carry the tone down the left side of the head and neck, through the left shoulder, along the left side of the body, over the small of the back, out over the hip, the thigh, the knee, the calf, the ankle, the foot and toes, leaving the tone in the center of the bottom of the left foot. Return to the harmony center, pick up the tone. Carry the tone to the top of the head. Carry the tone down the right side of the head and neck across the right shoulder, the upper arm, elbow, forearm, wrist, hand, fingers and thumb, leaving the tone in the center of the right palm. Return to the harmony center, pick up the tone. Carry the tone to the top of the head. Carry the tone down the right side of the head and neck, through the right shoulder, along the right side of the body, over the small of the back, out over the hip, the thigh, the knee, the calf, the ankle, the foot and toes, leaving the tone in the center of the bottom of the right foot. Once again, return to the harmony center and pick up the tone. Carry the tone to the top of the head. Carry the tone down the back side of the head and neck, down along the length of the spine, vertebra by vertebra, missing none. Carry the tone up in through the pelvic section, the abdomen, the solar plexus, the chest, the lungs and the heart, the throat, the nasal passages, the brow, and back up to the top of the head, the point of beginning. Now take a deep breath and allow the harmony to diffuse its tone evenly throughout all the nerves and cells of our bodies, while we make the realization that I am perfect harmony now. Having established our own personal harmonies, let us send out a thought of universal harmony, which is the power of God, or the power of love in action. This is the power that makes all of the grains of sand, or the waves in the ocean, or the leaves on the trees, all appear to be the same. We know each and every one are different. This is universal harmony. Universal harmony fills all of us here, extending throughout all of the towns that we live in, all of the United States of America, all of the countries of the planet Earth, all the planets in our solar system and out into space, the realm of God. Let's send special thoughts of universal harmony today towards one another, to everyone who we will come in contact with, to anyone who we may hold judgments or resentments against, or to anyone who may hold judgments or resentments against us. Let us send special thoughts of universal harmony to all of the people who were affected by any tragedies that are happening in the world. And now for gratitude. Since gratitude needs an object, let us think of one small thing of this day to be grateful for. And remembering with gratitude, be thankful. Having formed this thought of gratitude, let us pull it down deep into our auras and truly let it brighten our day. We know where there's gratitude, there leads to a greater and fuller supply, so let us now make the realization that God is, I am abundance, enough and to spare for my every need now. I and my abundance are one, enough and to spare for my every need now. And if there are those who have asked us to work for them in abundance, let us now silently name them and realize for them abundance, enough and to spare for each of their every needs. And now for right action, our personal work. If we have a problem or situation we cannot deal with for ourselves or for another, let us place it into right action, the hands of God, for we know that with God, all things are possible. So let us today place the Harmony Exercise project into right action. that we continue to educate and let many people experience this unique set of prayers. Thank you for the opportunity of coming together to do this work. We ask a special blessing for all those for whom we work, that their hearts and minds be open to receive the benefits of these thoughts. And likewise, we ask a special blessing for ourselves, that our hearts and our minds may be open so that we may receive the benefits of these thoughts. We thank you. Amen. Now we can just take a moment of silence to receive some of the answers to our prayers.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to redo the end.
It was perfect.